All right, Jake. Just to recap on the men's side, you guys took second behind Texas A&M at their home meet.
Yeah, we went down there to College Station and ran in some humid and warm conditions, which the past 2 years we haven't really fared that well in going down to Missouri Southern. So I figured we'd go somewhere that wouldn't hurt us so bad this year if we got beat and or didn't run so well. But we ran a lot better in those conditions this year. And Zeke, he was up there, finished fourth, was battling with the top guys up until the last mile and a half or so. So very, very proud of him and where he's at right now. He went out with Manny. They crushed their long run 2 days later. So those guys are recovering well and they're ready to go. And I'm just really excited to see where they go as the season keeps going. But really, I mean, 5 guys within 40 seconds of each other. That's a really good place to be in. And we haven't even thrown Dan Haynes into the mix yet. I think the only low spot was Briggs being our 5 guy, and he's an All-American, but I guess at the same point that could be a good thing, because if your guy who's All-American's running at your 5, you must have a good deep team. So we think we could run a little bit better with Briggs, but we know what we got to do a little different moving forward, and I'm not too worried about where he's at right now.
What did you learn about the women's team?
Yeah, that was a big learning experience for all of the ladies and for me. I know that there were some things that intimidated them, whether it was the style of the course or just the competition level or moving up to 5K, as some of them were from smaller schools in Texas and never run 5K. So I think they were out there running a little bit scared and afraid to blow up a little bit. So we've spent a lot of time the last 48 hours kind of discussing those fears and trying to understand that we need to put ourselves in the race, because there were a lot of girls in that race that were very good, but there was also a lot of girls in that race that we were capable of running with or beating, and they didn't really give themselves the chance in that first mile to go out and run with those ladies. And so we got a plan of action in place for this week when we go to Tech to try and fix that mistake and get out there and prove to ourselves that we belong in these races, and that this was just a little bump in the road, because I know they're much better than what they showed this weekend, and we just got to keep them on track, keep believing, and keep working hard every day.
Just talk a little bit more about the depth on the men's side. I mean, like I said, you mentioned Briggs took 5th. He was the 5th runner on the team.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, I mean, for a guy who was All-American to be your 5th guy, that's a good thing, as long as the race wasn't too bad, which it wasn't a terrible race for Briggs. When we talk about having bad races, I always say if a bad race can be within 15 to 20 seconds where I expect you to be, then it's an all right race still. And that's how it was for Briggs. I think he could maybe ran 25:20 and he ran 25:40. So, but I think that we got a guy like Ahmed Omer. We call him AO, but AO's been huge for us. He was a late addition to our roster, and he's kind of been very, very surprising addition to our squad. And then Justin Vigil was within a minute of Zeke as well as our 6. So when we throw Dan into the lineup, we got 7 guys that can really show up and run for us, and we got a slew of other guys behind them that are nipping on those guys' heels. So we're really excited, and just know that as we move towards the important meets in the season, that we can risk a little bit more with our top guys and not worry about blowing up and that hurting us, because we got a bunch of guys there to fill in that top 5 if someone has an off race.